Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dawn from Tech Savvy Creative, and today we're going to be diving into Circle, which is an online platform for memberships and online courses. Now, I am somebody that has always been interested in hosting an online membership, but I have never quite found the right place for it, and so I just haven't really done it. So today we're going to be diving into Circle to check out their membership platform. We're going to set one up together, and that way you can see if it's the right fit for you and your business. And I'll do the same while I'm at it. I'm also really interested in Circle's course platform because I love the idea of having my online course be connected to my membership community all in one place. So not only are we going to set up a community section, we're also going to set up an online course together to see what that looks like and just to check it out. A huge thank you to Circle for sponsoring today's video. I cannot wait to dive in and check this out and see what this tool is all about. Okay, so we're going to dive right into the tool. The website is circle.so. I'm going to go ahead and log in, and I've already created my account. Now, real quick, I'm going to go to the pricing page. When I signed up for this account, I went ahead and went with the professional. Now there is a basic one that's below this one that's a bit cheaper. However, it did not include the courses and the live stream and all of that custom branding and good stuff. And that is really important to me. So I made sure to subscribe to the professional. Now, I'm still not sure if I'm going to use a membership community quite yet, so I just went with a monthly model, but if you go annually, it is a little bit cheaper. So if you know that you're going to have a community and this is the right tool for you, you are definitely going to benefit by having an annual plan. I'm going to go ahead and log in here. Now, something pretty interesting with Circle is I am actually part of multiple Circle communities already. So over here on the left-hand side, the T is the community that I have been added to by default. This is my community. And over here, I have a couple other communities that I'm involved in. So I am a Dubsado certified specialist, so I have a specialist community. I am in the Circle community, which is a phenomenal community that we'll look at here together in a minute. I'm also in another Dubsado insider group that talks about like forms and all that good stuff. And then this is an online planner. So I am already involved. So if you are somebody that is in other membership groups, it's really nice because it keeps everything nice and neatly over here on the left-hand side. So basically what we're going to do today is go through the setup checklist to make sure everything is set up. And then I want to go ahead and add a course and see what the whole course platform looks like. That is something that I am currently really interested in because I do have a few online courses. And the platform that I'm on is okay, but it's not anything that takes my breath away. So I want to check this out to see if this is a better solution for me. So the first thing that we're going to do is complete our profile. So I'm going to come up here to the basics section. It looks like this is something I've already done. So it's asking you for your headline, your bio, your location, other information. It gives you an opportunity to customize your branding, which I've already done. You can see my Tech Savvy logo right here, as well as my signature coral color. And then confirm your community access. So is this a public group? Is it a private group? So I went ahead and set this to private. Now we're going to come over here to set up your spaces. So spaces are the building blocks of your community according to Circle. So I am going to think about how I want to plan my space structure. So our spaces come over here on the left-hand side and appear over here in these like different spaces groups. Now, I think what I want to do for this example is I want to create a space for my community. And then I want to create a separate space for my course. And we're going to use my Zapier Essentials course for this example. Now we can bounce over here to one of the other communities. So I'll actually go to the Circle community to see the different spaces that they have. So they have like a new member space group. And then it says start here, say hello, preparing to launch, Over here, there's a community group, there's Circle product, learn with Circle, and best practices. And underneath, they each have one of these spaces. Look at that. That's beautiful. That just looks really nice. I do love how this looks. I can come over here to share your wins, ask the community. It is just a very beautiful and well put together group, but I would expect nothing less from the Circle community. It is stunning. So now I'm going to jump back over to my space and we're going to start thinking about my own space structures. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive into the community section here. Now over here on the left, I have a couple of spaces that are already here and ready to go. This header section at the top is called a space group, and then underneath each of these are called spaces. So these are the default ones that start with the community. So it's start here, say hello, and resources, which is a really great place to start. I'm just going to leave those there, but I do want to go ahead and create a new space group and maybe add a couple more. So I'm going to add a space group called Tech Support because at Tech Savvy Creative, I do a lot of that. Now, inside of here, I have a couple of different options on the view of this space group. So do I want to hide the member count? Do I want to hide it from non-space members? Show other spaces in the sidebar and so on. I'm going to go ahead and turn on these add members to new spaces within the group when they join a space inside of it. Yes, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and turn those on and click create. So now I have a new space group. I wonder if I can, yes, I can. I want to rearrange that because I want getting started to stay at the top. Now under tech support, I want to go ahead and add a space. And I'm going to add one called posts. And I want to add a FAQ space. Now I can come over here and I can add either a shape or an emoji. I really like these. These are really pretty. I'm going to go ahead and add one of these. I'm going to say that one. And it's within this tech support space. So down here a little bit, we have a section called Access. Now, it is set to open by default, which means anybody in the community can see and join the space. There's also Private, which allows members to see the locked page, but then only invited members can actually access it. And then Secret is only invited members can see it or access it at all. So for this one, I'm going to leave it to open. And then I have the option of setting notifications for the members in here. So if I want them to be notified via email, in-app notification, or mobile, I can set that up, but I'm going to leave that alone for now. I'm going to click Create Space. There we go. So now I have my very own space. So I think I want to come try a different type of space. I'm going to go to an event space, and this is where I can do weekly live tech help calls. I'm going to come pick my shape. I'm going to go back to the triangle. We'll go green, that light green color. There we go. Open. I'm going to leave that all the same. Create space. So the event space looks different than the post space, and something to note is once you create an event space, you can't change it to a post space and vice versa. Now, the nice thing about the event spaces is when you create events, it has things like add to calendar, it has the live webinars, it has a lot of those event features that the post section does not have. So let's go ahead. I'm going to add a new event. Let's test it out. So I'm going to say test webinar. In this space, weekly live tech help, I am the host. Does not repeat. We'll have it set for the next couple minutes, the next 30 minutes. And then I'll say it is here in a Circle live stream. Now in the live stream, I want it to be me as the view with everybody else around. I want to record this, and then I want to automatically post the recording, and it looks great. I'm going to go ahead and click Save Draft, and then I come up here and click Publish. Okay, it looks like we've created an event, I think. Let me see. There we go. That looks right. So there's an add to calendar button. It says it starts in 27 minutes, live stream, so on. I can RSVP to the event as a member, which is beautiful. Now up here at the top, I have these sections that kind of group everything together. So if I have multiple event sections or multiple event spaces, all of the events from those spaces would roll up into this events category, which is really nice and very beautiful. Okay, so I want to jump over to one of the spaces I've already created and see what I can do with it. So I have the section where it says start a discussion. I can create the first post or invite some members. And I know this looks a little barren because there's nothing in here. There's nobody and nothing in here. I'm going to click on settings to see what options I do have. Okay, I can change the access, so from open to private or to secret. And I also have a layout setting where I can change it from a feed to a list or to a card view. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to go ahead and click card and save changes to see what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and create a post. So this is FAQ. So I would say number 1, FAQ question. I don't know the questions, so I'm just going to put some random answers in here. Answer would go here. I'm going to make this longer. There, that works. Publish. Okay, so that's 1. I'm going to see, let me go back to FAQ. Okay, so it makes these little cards. I'm going to do another one. Number 2, FAQ post 2, answer. Now, what do I have down here? Okay, I can link to a post, event, lesson, or space. So if I want to tag weekly live tech help, maybe? Yep, okay. So I can tag another event, or sorry, another space. That's pretty cool. I have attachments. I can attach a file. Let me see. If I go to my desktop, I have some stock images. What happens when I add this? Where does this go? Does it go into the body? Okay, so I think it goes into the body of the answer. So if I want to add any images or screenshots, that would be a great way for me to do that. Looks like I can embed a video. Is that what that is? Attach a video, so I can either upload it or embed a link. What else do I have? I have GIFs. I have images. I can look through Unsplash, or I can embed a link. I have emojis, of course. And then I have, polls. This is great. So if I want to take a poll in my community, I can create a poll within a post, and that is beautiful. Love that. I'm going to go ahead and click publish. Now I'm curious to see if this attachment attaches to the top of the card, which it doesn't. So I was curious how to do that. Let's see. If I go to edit post, oh, there it is, add cover. Up at the top, go to my desktop, my stock photos. We'll use this one. A crumpled up piece of garbage, that's fine. I don't know why I have that saved. So we'll save that right there. Click save, and that should give me a cover photo. There we go. Okay, so for an FAQ, these little cards might be an interesting way to do this. I'm going to go back to settings, and I'm going to see what the list view looks like. Oh, I think this is definitely the best way to do this. Can I rearrange the post? No. Okay, so the posts are going to be in order as they were posted with the newest on the top. So that's good to know. Let's see what else we have in here in terms of settings. Okay, I can add a cover image for my space, and I can add a mobile thumbnail for my space as well. I also have settings for paywalls. So what this means is I can put this space behind a paywall. So if somebody wants to access it, they will have to pay me, and I can set that up via Stripe, which is super convenient. So we have lock screen, which appears to be what the person sees if they do not have access.
So I'm going to go ahead and edit the design here. I'm just going to change a color to see if I can do it. Okay, perfect. So pretty straightforward. I can create a heading like, hey, like to access this, you must be a member by now, and so on. So that's pretty cool and straightforward. Then we have a members section. Oh, I'm the only member. Surprise, surprise. And then we have an options section. So here in the options, it gives me all of those notifications that we saw earlier, and I can set which notifications members will receive for this space. I also have some permissions like allowing cover images and post titles. I can see in a post setting where people are posting a lot of different things where that can get a little bit cumbersome. So I can see why that might want to turn that off. I can add labels. Oh, and here we go. I can sort posts by latest, and I can say oldest. So I can flip it around so number one is on top. Okay, or alphabetical or however I want to do that. So that's pretty cool. I also have some SEO metadata descriptions down here. So I have my title, my description, so Google can accurately crawl this website, and that would be great for SEO. So that's really great. Okay, I'm not going to save any of these changes that I made, so I'm just going to close out of that. And I do think I like this list view for the FAQ section, although thinking about it, I probably don't want to allow a post. So that is something that I will have to change if I were to keep an FAQ section live, because that's something that I want to manage. I don't want other people posting and adding FAQs to this section. Okay, so now the part that I am most excited to dive into, which is the courses on Circle. So I am going to organize this in its own space group because I would want there to be the course material and then a community all in one place. So what I'm going to do is come over here. I'm going to add a space group. Zapier Essentials is the name of the course. I'm going to review these really quick, make sure that nothing is checked. I'm going to go ahead and leave all of that there. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a space, and I'm going to choose a course space. Now, it looks like I have three different options here. I can have a self-paced course that starts when a member enrolls and all content is available immediately, which for this course, this is what it is. So I'm going to use self-paced. There is another type called structured, and a course starts when the member enrolls, and then sections are dripped out relative to their enrollment date. So if they join, I can say 3 days later, then they get the next lesson. 3 days later, they get the next lesson, and so on. And scheduled courses start on a specific date, and then sessions are dripped relative to that start date as well. So 3 different options here, but for this course in particular, it's pretty short. I'm just going to do a self-paced course. Click on next. Space name. I'm going to call it Zapier course. To keep it straightforward, we're going to come in here. I love these little triangles. I'm actually going to go with the star. We're going to go with a blue gradient star. It's in the space group Zapier Essentials. And add members from the space group. If they're in that space group, I want to add them to the course. Okay, course access. The space will be created in draft mode and it will not be visible to your members. You can update access after you create the space. Sounds great. So that's really good information to know. That means that if I'm working on the course or if I'm trying to build it out inside of Circle, nobody else is going to see that until I actually turn the space into published. So that is really great to know. So it looks like here I have a couple of different sections. One is for the waitlist, which is pretty cool, and then average completion rate, which is really great information. This tool that I'm using currently does not have very many analytics on what is being completed or what is being watched. So this kind of information is super exciting and intriguing to me. So I'm going to come up here, click on these 3 dots, see what there is. We have view course, edit lock screen, copy URL, export comments, and export students. Okay, I can see when that is helpful. I'm going to go ahead and click on the add lessons. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get started by creating my course content. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a section. Now, This course is actually really small, so I don't have different modules or sections in the live version of this course. So I am, just for the sake of example, going to create a module called Introduction, like that. And then I'm going to add another section, and I'm going to say course. So in an ideal world, it would be different modules. Like I'd have module 1, module 2, whatever. I can actually come in here. I'm going to say module 1. We'll just do that for the sake of example here. And these are my different sections. It looks like I can reorder them, which is really nice and handy. Surprisingly, not all tools have features like that. So it's really nice when you have these little things that make it easy to rearrange and organize your courses. So over here in the introduction, I'm going to click on Add Lesson. And I'm going to call this lesson Intro and Assumptions. Okay. And over here on the right-hand side, it looks like I have a drop down menu, so I can choose if this is a draft or if it's published. So I'm still working on it, so I'm going to leave it as a draft. And I'm going to come fix this. There we go. And I'm going to click on Edit Lesson. So now I am in the lesson section. Over here on the left, I have a couple of different options. I have draft and published for the lesson status. I can enable featured media, enable comments, and then I can choose the default tab, whether that be the curriculum for the lesson or the comments that the users are leaving. Looks like I can also use files, but I have to add the files to do so. And if I click on the files, there's the files tab where I can add files to this lesson. So I'm going to come over here, and it looks like I have two different options. This is also really interesting information because not all course platforms host videos for you. Most of them, you have to upload them somewhere else, and then you can embed them into your course. But this one, it looks like it'll do either. You can embed them from Vimeo or YouTube or wherever you have your courses held, or you can simply upload them and have them natively inside of the course, which is really handy. Okay, so I went ahead and grabbed the URL for my video, so I'm just going to paste that in here. There we go. So there's my video that I've already created previously, because this is a live course that I have right now. It looks like I can start adding different text. There's also a command by clicking slash. So when I do that, it looks like I can format the text. I can add code, I can add emojis, I can also upload an image or a file. So that is super helpful if I want to, oh, there's more. I can upload an image, a file, audio, video, PDF, or a GIF, which is awesome. I can embed things from other locations as well, including Instagram, Spotify, Airtable, Google Maps. This is pretty cool. So I have a ton of different options of what I can build into this course page, which is beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to come in here because I'm curious. I want to see what it looks like when I upload a file. I'm going to choose a random file that I have on my desktop right now. There we go. I'm just curious to see how it uploads when it does. Okay, that's pretty cool. So if I had like a course workbook, or if I had a worksheet, or whatever it might be for this lesson, I could add it right there. I could also add things from Instagram, from Loom, Spotify. Again, there's a ton of options here, which is really cool and super helpful when I'm building a lesson. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this as is for now, and I'm going to click on Save. And then I'm going to click on, oh, that box changed. It changed its size. I'm going to click on View Lesson. So there we go. That's what it looks like. Then if I go back over here, I'm back to my full lesson list. So I'm going to go ahead and add a couple more lessons, and then we'll take a look at what the course looks like. Okay, so now I've added a total of 3 different lessons. So I'm going to come over here and publish these. There we go. So now if I go to one of these lessons, I'm going to click on edit lesson and then view lesson. I should over here on the right hand side under the little lessons tab see what other lessons I have left in the course. Now up here there's a couple of other tabs. I have a comments section, so where people can leave comments as they watch the videos, which is really cool and a really great way to interact in a course. Again, the platform that I have now does not have features like this. So I don't have any context to if people have questions while they're watching it, what they're thinking as they're watching these videos, and this is really helpful information. There's also a bookmark lesson button, which is really cool. So I can bookmark specific lessons that I want to easily access. Now I'm going to go back to the course dashboard. We're going to come up here and see what else there is. So I'm going to click on customize. It's going to ask me what the name is in the group. It reminds me that I'm currently in draft mode, which is totally fine. Now, I want people to be able to see there is a course, even if they're not in it. Because to me, I get FOMO and I want other people to see that there is a course that they don't have access to, and maybe that might entice them to purchase the course. So I'm going to set the visibility to private. So that means that they can see it in their sidebar, but they can't access it unless they've purchased it. They will see a lock icon to non-members. And then if I want to add an image thumbnail, I can, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and save those changes. And I'm going to click publish. Let me go back to edit lessons. We're going to come back over here, still going through all my settings. Now, if I want this to be a paid course, which I do, I would set this up with Stripe and then make sure to charge for access to this course. So again, I'm not set up with Stripe right now, so I'm going to go ahead and skip this step. But if I do want to charge, this is definitely something that I would be doing. And then we have this lock screen that we saw earlier. So if somebody does click on the space and they're trying to access it and they don't have access, I can come in here and modify this, add some type of design. I can come change a color, make it blue, whatever I want to do. Again, to entice them to purchase the course. And then of course we have our members. So I am the only member in this entire space. So you just see me for now. And then under options, notify course admins about comments. Yes, I do want to know about any comments. And then I have sections for like, do I want to hide the member count of how many people are in each section or in each course? And then other information for SEO purposes. So lots of really great settings to truly customize this course and make it work for me. Okay, so the next thing I'm curious about is what is this add link button? I'm going to go ahead and create a link. I'm going to call it test. I'm going to send it to my website. Let's see what it does. Oh, I can create links across the top. That is pretty cool. So I'm going to create another link and I'm going to say downloadables. And then I'm just going to put test for now.com. Oh, I didn't like it. I'm going to go ahead and put the same URL. Okay, that's pretty cool. So across the top toolbar up here, I can add different links to different things, which is super handy. Do I have that? I do have it. Okay, so in each space, I have this section where I can add links across the top that are specific to the space. Whenever I'm not really sure what I'm doing, I like to go visit the Circle community because obviously they're Circle and they have beautiful things. So like they have their upcoming events over here, their trending posts. I can see a lot of information that's happening. I'm going to jump over back to my course now. I'm going to come over here to view course, and then I can see over here. So I have a start course button, and then that takes them right in to their new course, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I think that course is good to go for now. I'm not adding all of the lessons just for the sake of time. But if I jump over here to the courses section, it looks like I can see a list of all of my courses, which is really cool. And my members would be able to see which ones are new and which ones are not and which ones are available to them, which is super helpful and I think a really great way of engaging my different audience members into a new course that might be a better fit for them. So I'm really intrigued by this. And I can also come down here and I can add another space to my Zapier Essentials. I can have live Q&A about the course. I can have a chat section. I can have a section of different members, images, whatever this might be. I can add a post section. I'll just call it discussion, course discussion. And I'm going to make sure that that is private to this space group and create space. There we go. I can create this whole space group just for this course. And when members purchase that course, they are added to both of those spaces.
Now, I have to admit, this tool is really beautiful and I love how it looks. Now, for what I'm doing over at Tech Savvy, I'm still not sure if the membership community is the right move for me. However, if you are somebody that does have a membership community and wants to have a wonderful, polished online experience, Circle is definitely one that you need to check out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Again, my name is Dawn from Tech Savvy Creative. And of course, we would love it if you liked this video and subscribe to our channel so you can be notified of any future videos that we release. Until next time, friends. See ya!